just put this into context.
Okay.
First of all, this is not the British Medical Association, which, if you like, is the trade union for doctors. This is local medical committees.
Which influences the BMA.
They influence, but they are not representative. They're not the same. So it's slightly disingenuous to say that the GPs have voted, although some of the members of this committee will be. There were 36.1 million GP consultations in October. 40% of those were on the day of booking, and 71% were person to person, whether that's in person or on the phone. The number of GPs has fallen, full-time equivalent GPs, it's down 713 since 2019, when the government promised there would be 6,000 more GPs by 2024. Well, I don't know how they quite did the maths, because it takes a bit longer than that to train to be a GP. I think it's very easy to say, oh, 9 to 5. GPs don't work 9 to 5. They are constantly dealing with a greater range of complex issues. So somebody who is now, let's say, in their 70s, who may have, in previous decades, had one thing wrong with them, has now perhaps survived cancer, let's say, but will have a multiplicity
Very complex needs.
Complex needs, complex medication, complex follow-ups and things like that. So because we've got a population that is living longer and are living with things that once upon a time would have been a death sentence, the demand for GPs' appointments and time is much, much greater. So their workload, even though it's not necessarily in numbers, the capacity for every patient going in is demanding more of them. So there are also, the real problem, I think, is the fact that GPs' facilities, or primary care facilities, are so variable across the country. You know, in some places you can't get to see a GP for weeks on end. In other places where I live, I'm very lucky. We've got a sort of a medical centre hub, so there's an awful lot of stuff that you can...
So maybe your view on the GPs might be slightly skewed, because for a lot of people, there is a feeling that the GPs aren't there when you need them. And we must say that a large portion, if not the majority, do work part-time.